God, what were you saying? You got some drama.
Speaking of, not really drama, just my,
Oh, cringe.
I mauled in your DGG sometimes.
Oh, that's good.
It was the Just Pearly Things
Oh, God.
when she was talking to Ethan Klein of H3H3.
Yeah.
I'm astounded that someone has a that she has a following.
Yeah, she just says whatever, and it's just the most unbelievably, like, it's why I get so mad when people call her a grifter. I don't think she's a grifter. I think she's legitimately, like, one of the stupidest that has, like, ever graced the internet. It's unbelievable.
To pretend, first of all, that everything that's not a criminal procedure is not evidence-based.
Yeah.
It just means you don't know anything about family court proceedings. You don't know anything about civil court proceedings.
Or that, not even that you haven't even spent like 1 second just to think, like, what if it was that way? Well, like, what would society look like if anybody could get charged with anything without any, like, just think for 1 second, how stupid that is. Like, it should be defeated in your mind before even leaving your mouth, Yeah.
Just because the standard of proof is lower in civil cases or even in family cases, family court or child custody proceedings, things like that, doesn't mean it's not evidence-based. They're just different standards of proof. Our standards of proof to take your kid away is less than beyond a reasonable doubt, because beyond a reasonable doubt is the most deferential, the most amount of protection that we offer, because the criminal sanction is the most serious.
Yeah.
But we're willing to give big money, billions of dollars, on the basis of preponderance of evidence. Those are significant cases
still, yeah,
that are
even
based on facts.
Even in the case of like civil rape stuff, right, with Trump.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So that's sort of off the bat. But even, I think what's more offensive is the notion that we should take from the criminal process, that should be our denominator for the amount of physical abuse that happens in relationships. It's absurd. What percentage of domestic violence goes to a criminal court? Probably a fraction, a minuscule fraction. And of that amount, how many go to trial? That's a fraction of a fraction. And so to pretend that this is, one, an accurate denominator of the actual physical abuse that occurs in domestic situations is just stupid, because some part of your brain must realize that there's much more than is reported. And then number two, to pretend that you would want that to be the procedure, that what you want is in fact more criminal prosecutions. You want more men to be accused of abuse, and that's how you want the procedure to play out. You want to have more police enforcement against men of domestic abuse. Like, everyone knows that's not true. How many times have we see like these people and these personalities go on their YouTube channels and talk about how horrible it is that people are accused
of anything,
and are being conserved without any evidence, or that like it's absurd that they even have to go through the trial. Everyone knows that you're lying when you think that when you say that you want more criminal prosecutions, and that's how you want to determine these things. It seems like a total grift, and not at all representative of what your true belief is, which I think, if I'm being real, is you hate women.
Yeah.
You don't trust women.
I legitimately think for a lot of these people, that's literally just what it comes down to. It's like, I don't even think that's like a straw man. I think it's just like, yeah, hatred. If you go look at her Twitter, even like today, it's just like all like, women should never be able to get divorced. Women like always lie, like even if there's abuse.
And the immediate backdowns, Stephen, the immediate backdown where it's like, all divorce should be illegal. Okay, what about and immediately backs out, like you hadn't thought about like, physical abuse?
That's always the thing that I bring up, like the level 1 objections. Like someone will come into an argument like, all abortion should be illegal. And it's like, okay, what do you think about like case of rape? And it's like, oh my God, that's such a good point. Like I never even considered that before. It's like, well, let me think. It's like, wait, what do you mean? How do you have so much conviction, but you haven't even thought about like the most obvious, like, yeah, f me, dude. Oh my God, she's so stupid. But like I said, her following is way less than people think it is. Yeah. She exploded off the YouTube shorts, so people think she's like bigger than Fresh and Fit or whatever. She's not. I think that channel will fade away because she's so unbelievably stupid. It's just like anti-woman porn basically. Like you watch that show just because you like to see people shit on women, but yeah, it's absolutely stupid. And especially, keep in mind too, and I'm sorry for people listening, because I always say that like I give a lot of deference to like people who, because I have opinions sometimes on things. It's like, oh, I can be convinced of this, I don't know this, blah blah blah, and I grant the same leeway to other people. But remember, she's talked about this topic for like over a year. So I would expect her to just know some shit offhand, number one. And number two, she keeps saying she's working on a documentary about it. That she's like talked to lawyers, she's talked to men, she's talked to so many people. It's like, okay, well, how do you not even know basic like criminal procedure then? Like, yeah.
It makes you question everything else they do.
Yep.
Another similar thing that happened was with me with Rob, was on the Hillary Clinton emails. How many times did Rob go and talk about the Reddit post that Paul Gambetta made about masking emails and how that was proof positive that there was obstruction of the subpoena or whatever, and he didn't even know that the reason behind that attempt to mask those emails was because emails had been produced before where Hillary Clinton's email address had been leaked to the press, and they didn't want that to happen again, and that this was a different email than the one that had already been produced, and it was already changed from what it was before because her email address had changed. And he never brings the point up again. But it makes me question if you're bringing up, if you are so invested in a particular area, call that Hillary Clinton conspiracy, or call that the trends related to domestic violence and divorce and abortion, how would you not know the level one arguments or the timelines or the facts behind the things that you're presenting? And it makes you question anytime they say anything. You know, you're double guessing yourself.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.